Hey, what is going on, guys, and welcome to the second episode of Artificial Intelligence. This is the brand new podcast on my channel every Friday afternoon. I want to start off straight away by saying a big thank you for everyone that left feedback on the first episode uploaded last week. Myself and Ben really appreciate it very much. It went down really well. I thought we did a great job, and I'm really excited for the second episode today, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy it too. So, got a couple of topics to talk about today, and as per usual, my associate. Are you associate?
The alpha male host.
Alpha male host, I think.
We clarified this last week.
Yes, I know.
I'm annoyed that we're going over it again. Well, here we go. Do you know what? I thought you struggled with saying artificial intelligence. That's what I thought. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a good show. He barely got that out of his mouth. But yeah, thank you everyone for listening last week. Can you believe they listened, Jay?
Yes, I can. It was good.
It was actually quite good. I listened back at least 14 times just to get the views up.
Cheers, thank you.
Yeah, I muted your bits. But yeah, my bits were pretty bloody good. I will say to the one person that called me a bellend in the comment section, there was no need for that. And you know,
that was actually me under a different account.
Okay, well that all makes sense. Yeah, they did say, "Oh, stuff the alpha male." I was like, "Oh, okay, well, fine. I'll see where this is going." No, lovely to be back. Thank you for the positive feedback. And yeah, youtube.com/DrBenjiFM for your favourite Football Manager content.
Just drop it already.
It's important to note that the link is in the description. So today, what we're going to talk about, as Jay says, we've got a couple of topics. But first of all, let's focus on what you said last week. We asked the question about football experiences and what some of your best experiences were, what some of your worst experiences were. We've got a couple of best ones to read out. Jay, should we start with yours?
Yeah, sure. Well, obviously, thank you to everyone that responded to the questions we asked last week. Appreciate it very much. And weekly, we'll be reading out some of our favourite comments as well. So those that did respond, thank you very much. And I'll start with a comment I really liked, and it was from Isabel Lun. Or is it Lun? Lun? Let's go with Lun.
I mean, it doesn't matter at this stage, does it?
I've already botched it at least once. So
you have.
And she said, my best football experience was watching Bournemouth beat Bolton 3-0 at Dean Court, which got us promoted to the Premier League. I've been a Bournemouth fan all my life, and us being in the PL was something I could only dream of as a kid. There was a huge pitch invasion, and my dad even got a selfie with Steve Fletcher, a Bournemouth legend, and proceeded to tear up when Eddie Howe started talking about how the club had really struggled in the past. My dad supported Bournemouth for over 50 years, and it's amazing to think that he got to witness a really monumental moment in the club's history. He passed away in July, but I'm so happy he got to see Bournemouth finally reach the Premier League and stay there. I haven't been able to make it to any of the games this season, and I can't imagine going without my dad there. I went to every home game with him, and I'm so grateful that I spent all that time with him supporting the team we love. Yeah. P.S. Sorry, that got a bit emotional and whatever. I just wanted to share, but I thought that was a lovely comment. And,
lovely comment. I wasn't expecting such a lovely comment, but it was a great comment to get.
It was really nice. And obviously, because we talked about how much we love football last week, and I talked about how even I have sort of slightly lost interest in football over the years, I guess just getting older and having less free time and stuff to go to the games, I'll still never be able to get the emotion I feel, the attachment with the club. And Isabel sort of summed it up like perfectly, really. Like it really can just make you tear up those moments. You know, you support the club, and she mentioned because Bournemouth have been, through so many tough times, and to see them doing so well right now is great to see.
Yeah, it's great. It's really great. Yeah, really great.
But we're not going to talk about the weekend results.
Well, irritatingly, Jay. I mean, my comment from Stephen Henderson is regards to a comeback, which is irritating that I've picked this one out as well.
Oh yeah, I love comebacks.
He said, he actually says, I fully agree with Docs on the best way to win a game is a comeback. He's a season ticket holder at Newcastle and was at the Newcastle-Norwich game where they were 3-1 down and ended up winning 4-3. 2 goals coming in the 94th and 96th minute. Wow. They celebrated right in front of him as well, which is an amazing game to be at. Yeah, I'm not a fan of comebacks all of a sudden.
No?
No.
Where did you lose interest in comebacks?
It was around about 5 p.m. on whatever it was, half 3 on Sunday. When Liverpool, were cruising to the Premier League title, and it all went to pot, didn't it? Because we just don't care about my life, apparently. So that was annoying. So yeah, I mean, great story, Stephen, but I'm livid still. We shouldn't have brought this up. So yeah, Liverpool didn't have a very good weekend. Millwall got a win though in the FA Cup.
Yes, we beat Braintree, which to be fair was expected.
I mean, what was a slow clap there? Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, look. Now, we're into the hat for the third round, and funny enough, we're actually taking on Isabel's team, Bournemouth.
Oh, I'm sick of Bournemouth. Can we move on from Bournemouth? Gee, I don't care any. Well done, Eddie Howe. Well done. You've got really nice hair and everything. You'll be the manager one day. Brilliant. Well done, you. Right.
Dear.
But anyway, we're going to come away from football for the start of this week. We may venture back later on. We never know with this podcast; it could go anywhere. But we're going to talk about one of the big news stories, sort of in the world of the internet recently, Jay. And it's about quite a controversial topic when it comes to YouTube in general, and the old YouTube money.
Yes.
Yeah, Forbes have released their YouTube rich list, and surprisingly, I mean, I was shocked to find out that PewDiePie, the guy with nearly 50 million subscribers, has got the most amount of money according to Forbes.
Stunning.
We should clarify. Forbes are just guessing because they don't know. They've gone, well, it could be this much. It looks good in a headline. It's essentially clickbait. Let's put it in a news article.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, from the top 10, it's surprising when you read the top 10 that there's like sort of half the names you don't recognise. I feel like most people might feel a little bit like that.
Yeah.
That you don't necessarily recognise all the names on the list. Rhett and Link are on the list. Name I recognise. Tyler Oakley's there. Smosh. Roman Atwood, of course, who's doing very well across 2 channels, isn't he? He's got sort of 10 million combined. And then you've got PewDiePie sat on top of the tree. And it's interesting because obviously this is a news story that everyone likes to read, especially people that watch. And the attitude to YouTube money, I feel like, especially since I started YouTube, when I first started, there wasn't like the partnership program. You couldn't make money from doing videos. And then it sort of came in, and people accepted that, oh, this is a thing. But no one was making sort of the money they are now. Do you know what I mean? It was kind of like you'd make a little bit of pocket money on the side if you were doing really well. Whereas if you're doing really well now, there's some life-changing amounts of money.
Absolutely.
So how do you? I was going to say, well, we'll start with this. You obviously weren't someone that started YouTube to make money, but it's certainly become a career for you.
It has. It's obviously a really difficult topic to talk about because you're always worried that people are going to accuse you of being someone who's sort of sold out and purely still uploading for the money. And that's always a huge concern for me because like I can be honest about it. You know, it is a job for me. It's a full-time job. I've moved out. I pay all my bills through this income. This is my only job. I have no part-time job. But just because that's the case, it's not something which is like, for example, I'm not making sort of life-changing money there on.
Yeah, you're not on the list. I did notice that actually.
Yeah,
I did scroll down. I was looking for FIFA YouTubers. You weren't on it. Football Manager YouTubers also not on the list.
Yeah,
no,
we'll get there one day.
I mean, I'm expecting to take over Roman Atwood and take that second spot. I imagine PewDiePie will still have the monopoly over there, but I'll do my best. But no, you're saying there that you do it for an income, and I think that you're right there. There is this sort of stigma, isn't there, that people essentially YouTubers don't want to be seen to not care about their audience, and they think that revealing how much money they make or the fact they do it full time or anything makes it sound like they don't care about the audience they've got. Which I don't think is ever true, actually. I think if you've got an audience on YouTube, generally speaking, you've worked incredibly hard to get it, and then you fear a lot of the time that you're going to lose it. And I think money is sort of the secondary all the time. No one gets into YouTube purely for money. I personally don't know anyone that's done it purely for that reason. I'm sure there are people that do it for that reason because, as I say, for some people it's life-changing money. But I don't know anyone personally. Do you know anyone that has looked at YouTube and said, that is the job I want, I'm going to do this for money? And I don't even necessarily think there's anything wrong with that. But do you know anyone that's done that?
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. At the end of the day, it is a career path now. Like it or loathe it is a career path for a lot of people.
But why do people loathe it? Do people think it's easy? I feel like we're in a kind of a biased position here because we're two people that make content and make money from making content. So do we sound? I don't know. I mean, I'm interested to see what people think. Really, like, how do people perceive this job? Do they see it as a very easy way to make money when there's people doing sort of 9 to 5s that aren't earning as much as a YouTuber would be? But on the reverse of that, people need to realise that most YouTubers aren't making sort of mad stacks. Is that what? Are you making mad stacks, Jay?
Unfortunately, I'm not making.
I'm not making mad stacks. I don't think I'm even making stacks at the moment.
No, I'm not yet either.
I'm making sort of letters at the moment. Not even a stack of letters, just sort of letters. And I think there is that misconception that sort of every YouTuber is living sort of in a massive house with a big car outside, and that's just their lifestyle. But for a lot of people, they earn very similar to what would be considered a normal job.
Exactly. Marks, I mean, this for me is what I consider to be, just over sort of minimum wage in this country. Like, what I'm earning is not $15 million like PewDiePie. That's unfortunately not my level. I mean, I wish it was, but I don't even have the car and a house out front. You know, I live in a small 1-bed flat up north. I had to move from the south of England, where I used to live, up north because rent prices are just too expensive down south. You know, I'm yet to sort of make that kind of mad money, but I'm still always fearful that people are going to turn on me just because it is a full-time job nowadays. And I think that's the huge concern for me, really, that people aren't going to understand that, no, I got into YouTube not because I wanted to earn money and make it a career path, but because I wanted to entertain and cheer people up and whatnot when they're down and so on and so forth, and just produce content I thought was good. And that is still my philosophy today. And you touched on it a minute ago there, but it is so hard to make an audience understand that is still true when you do start to, you know, increase your earnings, because they think that's surely going to be your number one priority now. Well, it's not. Yes, of course, it's a concern because I pay tax, I have bills to pay, I have stuff to pay, and so of course earning money is important. But it's still not the reason why I got into YouTube. And as you said a minute ago, I don't know anyone that's actually got into YouTube just because, I know I'm going to make a lot of money out of this. Never known anyone.
Anyone that, I'm sure there'll be people listening that have tried to do YouTube and it just hasn't worked out for whatever reason. It doesn't work out. I don't think you can go into YouTube. I mean, there'll be certain people that have got friends that do YouTube that obviously it becomes a lot easier for. But I think to go into it, it's a bit of an unknown, isn't it? You don't know how people will respond to you.
Yeah.
And it's very often the person that essentially sells their channel. And it's the kind of career that turns into a career. You can't just become a YouTuber. Like you can't. That's what you can, but you can't become a full-time living off it YouTuber. Like it takes a long time for that to happen. Yeah. And people forget about the bits where it's a labor of love, isn't it? It's something we do it because you love doing it, and then it becomes this thing. And I think that applies to me and you and PewDiePie and all the people that are making mad stacks. But a lot of these people that are making mad stacks have been doing it for a long time. And people seem to forget that there is a huge build-up to where they are now. And it's up to them to sustain that, and hopefully, if people keep watching them, then they can sustain it. But it's not for everyone, and it's not possible for everyone to do that. I think the stigma around YouTube money and the idea of it being a career is something that is slowly becoming accepted for whatever reason. I think there was a time when people had no idea it was happening. Then everyone thought it was a disgrace. And now I feel like wasn't there? Everyone thought it was this is unbelievable. How can you do this? I think especially you're in the FIFA community, there was certainly this kind of idea that to make quick, easy money in the FIFA community, there was a certain path you could go down. You know, bloody career mode videos. You wouldn't believe how much money you've got people. Career mode videos. Sickening. Somebody, dear me, that's series after series after series. No, but I think we all know what I'm referencing here. I think while sort of if you look at it from a business perspective, it's very clever. If you look at it from sort of the moral perspective of good content and engaging with an audience, it's not quite the same thing. But career mode's not for everyone, people. It's not for some people love career mode, some people don't. No, I might be talking about a certain opening of goodies, and I'm not talking about Christmas. We're not doing a Christmas chat again this week. I think it can be viewed in different ways. You can either do it sort of the moral way or the business way, and I must say I think both are fine. And as a viewer, you are the person in charge of this. You get to pick what you watch. So if you don't like it, you can express that by not watching it.
100%.
Whereas you don't have to sort of actively dislike it. You can just kind of say, well, I'm not into that. That's not my sort of thing. Which makes, I think, people who do earn a living from this very humble. And I think you see that actually through a lot of people, that they are humble. They always try and recognise their audience. And I think you personally, we said last week that we want this podcast to sort of be a gate to open up you, essentially. And I think you are someone that is very humble towards your audience and very appreciative of what people do. And I think a lot of your audience probably know that, but they don't necessarily know why.
Well, I think that first of all, thank you. That's very kind. But I think the interesting thing is just a moment ago there, you touched on the fact that when a YouTuber is building up to the mad stacks, which is what we always refer to a lot of money as nowadays, mad stacks. When
I've got to say, I don't know why I'm referring to mad stacks. I don't know why people call it mad stacks.
Well, you've done it enough times now, so I've got to continue it. Do you know what I mean?
But it's just how it is. As a phrase, mad stacks makes it sound a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Like he's got stacks coming out of everywhere. He walks into a room, he's just got a room full of stacks. I don't know why they're mad. Why can't they just be regular size stacks?
I think I think that's true, and I think my audience did during the sort of the upcoming building of my channel, if you will, to where it is now. Did sort of see that side of me, the sort of the humble, the gracious approach. But over time, I have noticed there's more hateful comments and negative comments than ever before. And listen, you can't avoid it. It's going to happen. You know, you will get it as a YouTuber. Yeah. But I get it more often than normal. But I hope that people still do remember, like, you know, my sort of gracious approach is not forced. It's not fake. It genuinely is just how I feel. Because I recognize, like, how important, you know, YouTube videos can actually be to someone's day. And when I say that, I'm trying very hard not to sound very pretentious here, which is quite difficult for me.
I think to be honest, though, I think when you talk about a topic like this, and you're kind of going through that thing, we can hear it now, viewers. We can hear that idea that you don't want anyone to be upset or offended that you're making money from YouTube.
But I think when someone is continuing to put in the same amount of effort as they did before they actually turned it into a job, like I'm putting in more effort than I used to ever before on my videos now. I think if you watch some of my old content back and you watch to what it is now, you'll notice the massive change that I've, you know, done in the production of my videos. And when someone says...
That's more to challenge yourself, though, isn't it? That's not because...
Oh, no.
It's literally for no other reason other than you want to do something new. And sometimes that can be perceived wrongly as he's just trying to make a quick buck. But most of the time, especially from a creative point of view, especially when, like we do a very similar thing, when you're doing the same thing every week, you want to try and do different things and try different things and trial different things. And I think that's kind of what you're saying here, is that it's the idea of doing something new that motivates you, and not the financial sort of side of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, just because the financial side is an aspect now, it doesn't mean it is the number one priority, you know. And I think a lot of people do forget that as the YouTuber does become bigger and does become sort of, you know, just, I suppose, someone who is perceived as earning more money and so on. Just because that's the case doesn't mean that it's the only priority for that person to think about now. You know, it's not true at all.
Well, that leads into a great point, because PewDiePie, who is reported to be earning the most amount of mad stacks, I don't know why I've done this, I regret it instantly. He's made a video in which he very sort of honestly states that he's not very happy with the way YouTube is being run at the moment. And I think it's actually quite important for all creators that the biggest creator on the site is prepared to say this is bollocks, essentially, which is what he said in regards to things like people being unsubscribed from other people and the way that clickbait is affecting sort of trending lists and sort of featured videos on the side of other videos. But he said that when he hits 50 million subscribers, he's going to delete his channel and start again, which is, I mean, it's bold.
Yeah, bold.
Well, yeah, it'll be... Yeah, well, I guess we'll see if he goes ahead and does it. There's rumours that he's sort of chatting to YouTube about the issues, and that might convince him to carry on. I don't know, but is it something you think you could ever let go of? Have you ever thought about restarting? Speaking as a restarter, I mean, I've done it essentially.
For me personally, I've got 170,000 subscribers, so way off where he's heading to. But I couldn't even imagine doing it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's all relative, isn't it? It's relative to the person.
Oh, without question. But I mean, if I wanted to venture into other sort of categories of YouTube, then I'd certainly consider it, because, you know, my channel's built on gaming. You know, if I wanted to do something like cooking videos, for example.
You do some lovely cooking video. What would you call your cooking channel? This is
Cooking
brilliant.
with Jay. Cooking with Jay. Why not?
Cooking with Jay.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'm trying to get the word microwave in there. I'm struggling. Oh no.
But I mean, you know, like, I would definitely consider deleting and restarting if I was to venture into a different category. But it says a lot that someone with 50 million subscribers, or I should say, is heading towards 50 million subscribers, is willing to pull the plug on, you know, what is basically just a career for him, which has been so profitable, just to risk and not exactly go into the unknown, because you know it'd still be fine. But to give all that up and to restart, that's a strong thing to do. That takes a strong character.
It must speak of his frustration though. He must feel as if essentially his position is that he's got all of these subscribers. He was for a long time anyway. If you made a YouTube account, he was on the list of people that they would sort of auto subscribe you to, because he was sort of the face of YouTube. And I think being the biggest YouTuber, you are always going to grow very naturally just by being the biggest YouTuber. You are known as that. He's happy to kind of give up that title. He'll always be remembered for the first person that hit 50 million, but he's happy to give up that title and start afresh, which I think I mean, if he's reportedly making the money he is making, then it's not as much of a gamble as it might seem for someone that sort of just watches every week. But I don't know. What would you do with 50 million subscribers, Jay? What if you had 50 million subscribers? What would you do? What would be your first port of action? Maybe they weren't even just sort of viewers. You could just you've got control of 50 million people, Jay. What are you going to do?
What would I do with 50 million people? I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know what you could do with 50 million people. Like,
it's almost the population of the UK.
Yeah, if I had them all under my command, I could do anything with them.
Basically, if you were Donald Trump, no, maybe not Donald Trump, but if you were in charge of 50 million people, what would be the first thing you would do?
First thing I would do.
Yeah.
Man, I don't.
There's so many things you could do.
Yeah,
where do you start, really, isn't it?
Where do you start?
I'd probably consider a Mexican wave.
Really?
Well, it'd be the biggest Mexican wave ever, wouldn't it? If they're under my control, I'm thinking I'd start the Mexican wave, and probably, if speed allowed it, I would then finish it as well.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe I'd make it circle back up to me.
Yeah, that would be good. Good. How do you plan on, like, what location are you doing this Mexican wave in?
Bloody hell. Well, we're living on island. I feel like we could probably just do it upon sort of the motorways.
Yeah.
Maybe up and down the A1.
Yeah, and then come back.
Up and down the A1. I guess that probably wouldn't be long enough.
No.
I mean, I'll be honest, I've not researched this as much as I figured I'd probably need to.
Yeah.
So first on my list, let's say I can do three things. First on the list, Mexican wave. Sure. Yeah. And then once that's completed, I mean, it's pretty difficult to top, if we're completely honest.
Yeah.
I'd then organise some sort of Hunger Games event. You wouldn't die; you just have to go home.
Right.
Like, it'd be that sort of thing. There wouldn't be a death, but then you'd find out who sort of the elite people amongst the 50 million were.
Right. Sure. That sounds good.
I realise I'm very slowly creating an Illuminati for myself, which is not my intention. And then maybe with the elite of those people, what I've done here is just come up with the idea of government.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've not really thought this through at all. I don't know. Basically, what we've discovered here is I can't be trusted with PewDiePie to subscribers because I'll start doing all sorts of nonsense.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be allowed. Right, one thing. What would you do?
50 million people.
50 million people.
50
Mexican
million
wave's
people.
gone. You can't have that. Whatever I've had is now gone. So I know that's probably what you did want.
It was appealing.
What do you
it would
do?
be quite good. Do you know, I honestly don't know. Maybe I would get everyone to
climb on top of each other and make a massive person.
Now that does sound very good. That does sound very good.
Don't let me influence you. Don't let me influence you. But no, that's just an idea. I'm just the ideas man.
I think I would probably. Do you know what I'd like to do actually with that many people? I would like to have, like, Secret Santa.
I mean, logistically, this is mental.
But I would like it so everyone had, like, someone, like, out of 50 million people that they would send a gift to and receive one back. I think that would be really nice, really sweet.
So
like
you're turning an office tradition
into a massive, widespread.
What you've essentially created there, Jay, is shopping. Like, what I want to encourage is shopping.
It's gifts for each other. It's nice. It's sweet. It's thoughtful.
No, everyone's sitting at home. Sorry if you've got to bleep that. Everyone's sitting at home going, you could say anything. 50 million people could start an army. You could do anything you want. So what's he going to do? Secret Santa, everyone.
Why would I start an army? I'm a pacifist.
That says a lot about you. Yeah, but just for your own protection. No one's dealing with you.
All right, well, I'll tell you what then. I'll have 49 million people doing the gift thing, and I'll have 1 million people to protect me. So,
Oh, yeah.
1 million's fine.
But how would you select the million?
Use your idea. Hunger Games. Get the most
right.
million.
Oh, okay. Well, you just narrow it down to 1 million people. I mean, I'm just thinking of the admin. Like, who? Oh, dearie me! It's like a real life version of Takeshi's Castle.
We'll outsource it.
Is that the second week in a row we've talked about Takeshi's Castle? I don't know. I've done this. Okay. Well, there we are then. Fine. You do Secret Santa.
Yeah.
I guess this. Hopefully, people in this is where the comment section is going to come in strong. 50 million people. What are you doing?
I would be very surprised if there wasn't at least one person saying, "I like the gift idea." It's a good idea.
No one is going to write Secret Santa. There'll be people. Okay. Second, right after you've left that comment, Mexican wave, Secret Santa. What are you more appealed by? Deary me.
Secret Santa, Mexican wave.
Bloody Santa.
Mexican wave lasts for take about half an hour, I suppose, with 50 million people. But
right,
I mean,
what we've learned, Jay, is that I would not be trusted with 50 million people. You would waste it on Secret Santa.
It's not a waste.
It's a waste. Imagine if PewDiePie went, right, email my PO box, everyone, I'll send it back, but leave an address on. Rubbish.
It's a great
Absolutely
idea.
Rubbish.
Lovely.
But, oh, dear me. Okay, I can't. I'm sitting here bemused at the fact you've said Secret Santa. Okay, so that's what we do with 50 million subscribers. Again, leave your suggestions for what you would do with 50 million people. I mean, we keep changing it between subscribers and people. I'm just hoping PewDiePie doesn't do any of these things. I think that's my biggest concern. That's why he's got to shut it down, just in case.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because he's already planning the Secret Santa thing, 50 million, just to let you know.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing that. He will.
Okay, imagine that, right. Imagine that video comes on soon when he gets 50 million. Okay, guys, so it's been a good run. We're going to stop it here. Here's my new channel. Go subscribe to that. But before you all leave, you're going to need a few things. It's like it turns into Blue Peter. Right, you're going to need some scissors, some sellotape, some PVA glue. Why was it always PVA glue? What does PVA stand for?
I don't know.
Always PVA glue, wasn't it? Always.
Yeah,
I never owned PVA glue. I don't know why. They thought, oh yeah, and also what you're going to need is some foam. Like I carried foam around. I should talk about Art Attack now. I've gone into Art Attack.
Yeah, he crossed
but
over.
Art Attack would always go, right then, what you need is it's in sort of October. What you need is the casing of an Easter egg. I'm thinking, what? In November? I don't know when you filmed this, but I've not got the Easter egg casing.
The dangers of stockpiling episodes, I think that is.
I don't keep it, do I? And then they do sort of the big... I used to love Art Attack and Neil Buchanan on Art Attack. Did you watch Art Attack?
I did, yeah. Art Attack was one of my favourites, actually.
Imagine, you know when he does like the big image at the end? If you've not seen Art Attack, by the way, you've missed out big style.
No doubt.
But he used to do the big image where he'd use like deck chairs and coats.
Yeah.
Right, always deck chairs and coats. And it always, I don't know, my favourite bit about the big builds that Neil Buchanan used to do, they'd come back with just a load of tubes. Yeah. I'm thinking, who's stockpiling that ready for a build on Art Attack? Anyway, I've got no idea where we were going with this, by the way. Art Attack. What, sorry?
So you're talking about PewDiePie, 50 million subscribers, shutting down
his
channel.
Well,
so before he goes...
With 50 million people, he creates his logo out of the 50 million people. There
Sounds
you are.
Good. That's actually a really good idea.
There you are.
Really
That's
good
what you
idea.
should do. And everyone has to hold up a piece of paper like you do at football stadiums. Sort of when you do like the England flag.
The mosaic,
Yeah. That'd be good.
That would be lovely.
This took a weird turn. I wasn't expecting it to go down this route. I didn't think Art Attack would get a mention this week. I mean, tune in next week. Which CITV programme will be mentioned next? I'm thinking Jungle Run. What was your favourite CITV programme when you were
I think it just would be Art Attack, actually.
Art Attack?
I think it would be Art Attack,
Did you watch Zap?
No, I didn't.
I should say, for anyone under the age of like 20...
Yeah, this is going to be quite...
This is confusing,
I
imagine.
Yeah. They're going to be Googling all these programmes thinking, what is this on?
I'll tell you now, folks, you'll have a fantastic afternoon because there were some great programmes on CRTV. Right then, I think that almost wraps us up, Jay. It's been a wonderful half an hour. We should let people know that if you want these to be longer or shorter, do let us know in the comment section down below. Feedback's always welcome, unless, of course... you're insulting me, in which case I just ban you from my own channel.
Right, so, sure, okay. That's why my second account's been banned from your channel, isn't it?
Yeah. Stop liking my videos. Sick of it. Keep showing up. Right then, do you wanna wrap this up?
Yeah, sure. Just like last week, I want to say a big thank you for watching, everyone. Appreciate it very much. Obviously, if you can get involved in the questions we asked today, that'd be great as well. What were the questions today? I've already forgotten.
The questions were, what would you do with 50 million people?
50 million people under your control.
What was your favourite CITV programme?
Yes.
And
is the Secret Santa idea better than the Mexican wave, which I think
Absolutely
it is
not.
personally. It is.
Not. It could be a wave of any nation as well. It doesn't have to be Mexican. I don't want to feel like people have been
discriminated against.
They don't have to be Mexican. It could be any sort of wave.
Sure, right, yeah. But I mean, it's over. Once it's over, it's done. Those gifts will last forever. People will be happy they receive something from someone random.
You're still going on about this idea like it's a good idea.
It is a good idea. I don't. It's not. Where's the bad part of it? What part of that idea is bad?
Right, again, admin. You're not thinking it through. Someone is going to have to organise all of this.
Yeah.
Unless you're going along a line, which is, I mean, I know we like queuing in this country, but that would be madness. Queuing up, here's yours, thank you. What if you're unhappy with it? You could hardly complain, could you? Yeah. Think about the amount of swaps that would go on.
But it doesn't matter, it's just a nice, thoughtful gift,
What's the budget on the gifts?
Tenner, probably.
Tenner? You're expecting a tenner to fork out for a stranger?
Yeah.
A tenner?
Yeah.
I gave a packet of batteries. So I don't know. I wouldn't be. I would not be bothered about the gift.
I think it's a great idea, personally.
You've made it compulsory at this point, I feel like.
It would be under my management.
Oh my god.
Year after year, Secret Santa.
End this podcast before it comes to dictatorship.
Alright, well, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it very much. With love and care. I will see you.
Slow down. Hand it over. Thanks Ben for coming on.
Thank you, Ben, for coming on.
We love with care from Little Until next time.
Goodbye.
I can't believe you just did that. You make me sick in my mouth. I'm going to put it in a box and then give it to you for your Secret Santa.